Whew. Man, this is gonna be a hard video. I don't even want to look at the camera. I don't want to do shit. You know, media is a great and wonderful thing. And I love Black Mirror, I really do. It's one of my favorite things to just watch because it's just so realistic. It hits hard. It's stuff that actually pertains and relates to you. Not everything that they do, but when it does hit, it's just, man. So, without further ado, the episode is called Eulogy. And it starts off with a guy, right? That him and this nice lady met at a party. And well, my bad, I'm jumping the gun too hard with it. Don't worry, I'll provide some exposition and some other stuff as to why I relate to it pretty heavy. And we might go into heavier things to talk about. So, hey, get you something to drink, get something to eat, just whatever puts you at ease, whatever floats your boat. And yeah. Sometimes moments like this just makes me wanna smoke again, you know? I know cigarettes really aren't good for you and stuff like that, but it's just this little thing right here is mainly like a comfort thing, you know? I'm sorry. It's just this episode hits hard. It's basically this guy in his house, right? Older guy, very older guy. Maybe like 50, 60, something like that, in that age range. But the whole gray hair and balding and stuff like that, so you already know where that's going. He hears about that this person has passed, and this thing starts telling him like, hey, do you want to leave some memories, or do you want to leave something important for the family? And we start delving into the memories of the time he had with this person and more. It turns out that this person that had passed was a fond lover of his. I'm sorry. I'm just genuinely holding in everything to not fucking cry, because it's like this music, thinking about the fucking episode, just my life as a whole. But I'm gonna try to genuinely pull it all together, because it's just it's hard, man. It's hard, genuinely. We start reminiscing about this person at this party, who was the older guy, him being younger, and this person that played the cello and everything, right? And you go through some kind of typical things you would in your younger adult years, you know, partying, getting in trouble, or just whatever, something that I want to say people might do by and large, or whatever. So, man, I really want to fucking smoke right now. I only smoke whenever I'm just stressed or just feeling something very intense, and it just calms me the fuck down. So this person and the lover start talking at this party, and they're really, really getting into it. They're just talking, they enjoy each other's company. The guy is like, I wanted to see more of this person. To any of my young viewers, especially, or just anyone as a whole, it's like, at first, you and this person, it's just like y'all don't know each other or whatever, and then a genuine bond, attraction, connection, or something else like that just forms. And you two become one. And you and this person might start dating and everything is just all nice, dandy. It's like, I almost had a panic attack right there. Um, my bad, I forgot I have to take it slow because, like I said, I'm just trying to hold myself together. We start going into the more early and cumulative years of this person and his lover, right? And they just decided to move in with each other, enjoy each other's company even more. It's like they're trying to make it in this world, and the only thing that they needed was just them. They just needed each other. And that is a wonderful and beautiful thing in its own self, right? And I love something like that. I had something like that. I don't know what I am to this person now, but just the gist of all of this is that not that much water left, but still water. This episode broke me. Genuinely. Unfortunately, I might reveal a lot of personal things, but it's the only way that you guys will. From the original tax expert, this is H&R Block Online. DIY tax prep designed with. We're going to be having a lot of fun with ads too, so yay. Where was I? Just back to the story exposition, then I will tell my own tale, and hopefully you can learn from it. Used to, do the typical stuff that a couple would do. They go out, they explore, they try to enjoy themselves. It's their life, and they have each other, and it's a beautiful thing to unfold, because it's like, as we're going through the memories of these two together, it's nice. It really is. But the guy ended up becoming jealous one day because of this thing that happened at his job. He was a barkeep, and you have your own friend group, your own clique, and everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows who's dating. Everyone knows who's like just the chill guy. The roles or whatever in a group you might want to say, or just who the person is. And well, like I said, the guy gets jealous because he sees his girlfriend near someone, but it doesn't look like she's interested in the guy at all. the guy's still jealous and stuff like that, right? And what is it? They had an argument, a stupid fight, that happens between couples. And the lady had to the lady had to leave because of she plays the cello. She was in the orchestra and she was finding some work to just play in. But she had to go somewhere that would have taken her away from her lover, which is the guy that we've been following the entire episode. And yeah, this episode fucking broke me, man. But I'll get back into my stuff in a bit. So she writes poster cards. She tries to do everything because keep in mind, this is in the 90s. This is the bloody 90s. And we're still following what the guy is saying. We're only going off of his perspective. But I want you to keep in mind, he never, ever talks once about how she might have felt about everything. And pretty much his birthday rolls around and there's this friend that was in their group that's always been close to our guy or whatever. They're friends, right? Now they did a little bit too much drinking and then some other stuff, and one thing led to another, and they were intimate with each other. And instead of the guy, what is it? And back then in the 90s and stuff like that, doing calls, especially long distance, costed a bloody fortune. And she wanted to do something nice and say happy birthday. She was going to sing happy birthday. And guess who picks up the phone? The friend. Not the guy, the friend. And if you think about it, if you were in her shoes, anger would be an understatement. And there's this guy that's been following the guy the entire time, right? Just saying pretty much, hey, what all can you remember, what all can you kind of feel, and etc. And what is it? Keep in mind, the guy also at the beginning said, let's skip the intro. Now this is where things start culminating, and I kind of forgot some stuff, but I'm gonna start putting it in now. This is also the deeper in part, or the meat and potatoes of everything that just broke me, because it relates to my situation so badly. Basically, like I said, the guy ended up cheating, which is just one of the worst things you can do. One of the worst things you can do, genuinely. No, I didn't do any cheating or any shit like that, if you're going to assume. If you did, fuck you. But what had fucking happened was pretty much the lady figured all that out, and the guy had already bought a ticket to basically go fly out there to her. They talked about it ahead of time, and what he had in mind was that he was going to propose to her. And They got at this fancy restaurant and some other stuff. And he starts talking about, yeah, it looked like she put on a few pounds, but she was still beautiful to me. But the entire time while they're at the dinner, she says nothing. She doesn't even look at him, no, nothing. And everyone in the restaurant is looking at him because, well, he called ahead of time and said, I'm going to propose. I would love some help with this, you know? And because she's quiet, he's like, hey, can you say something? He turns into a good bit of an asshole and slams his fist on the table and says, why won't you say anything or whatever? And she gets up and leaves. He didn't even propose, no nothing, and just, yeah, she leaves. And pretty much we get some exposition from the guide of, guess what? The reason why it looked like she put on some extra weight. The lady was pregnant with someone else's child. Someone from the orchestra that she had a one night stand with. And she only did that because she was mad, spiteful, and some other stuff. And we also learn that the guide is the lady's daughter. She's not a real thing, but a construct. But basically a what if, you know? And it's just devastating because the guy, me and the guy were both in like a state of shock, like, oh, shit, you know? It was a truly, oh shit moment. And I man, Black Mirror is really fucking good. Really fucking good. Because then the daughter starts saying, you've always talked about you, but you never not once talked about how she felt or anything like that. Or just because the guy kept yammering on about how he felt. And it's not invalid, but just the sheer utter fact that you can't see what you have done to this person that you loved was just. And then the guide says something that just. I often wonder about this, of just like. This is one of the parts that made me cry, was the time, the beautiful things, or anything that was meaningful to you. Was it meaningful to them? Was it the opposite, or just was it meaningless? Everything that you have had with this person, how do they remember it? but just pretty much, like I said, was just how will both of you be able to just look back at this time within your lives and just try to cope, remember, or whatever comes whenever you think about it, you know? It's one of those dastardly and haunting and fucked up things, depending on how you look at it, because it's a lot. It's genuinely a lot. And pretty much the episode concludes with him getting one last picture out of a Polaroid, right? And because the guy had this is the part that just crushed me egregiously, was he got back to the hotel that night that they were both sharing, and man, she left without saying anything. You know what's my favorite genre of things to watch? Romantic shit, genuinely. Next to horror thrillers or psychological stuff, a good romantic film gets me good, you know? It really does. But she left a note. He never noticed that there was a note. Now, in like the memory sequence thing, he tries picking up that note because the guide pointed out, hey, there's a note. And he started going on about a tirade about, I would have remembered if there was a note. Only for him to dig up his stash of stuff that he had collected and all. And he finds the note. The note says, I was so mad, so angry and upset at you, at what you did, that I had a one-night stand. And now because of it, I'm pregnant. She didn't go with the guy. The guy was, like I said, a one-off thing. And the child wasn't real, or that we know of. It's left ambiguous with what happened, but I hate and I love this episode so much because it just makes me horrified for the future in any fucking capacity. Any and every capacity. And I genuinely hope you guys never have to go through it. Genuinely. I know a lot of y'all are still young or my age or even older, but I hope you don't have to go through the same shit that I did or that this person did, because even though that's life, it's just, this is the type of stuff that just fucks you up for life. Sometimes you have to go through it to make you even sit there and be like, damn, should I have even gone through that to begin with? Or you learned something. But back to the episode. The entire time, the lady's face was, the lover lady, her face was blanked out, right? But we go back to one fond memory that the guy had. No, oh, on the note it said, I'm pregnant. I don't know if I want to keep the baby or not. I might likely want to, but meet me at this place tomorrow. If you don't ever want to see me again, I'd understand that. And we cut over to this scene of just the guy watching the lady play the cello. Shit. Yeah, the guy playing the cello and just... I mean, the lady playing the cello and just... He looks over that memory fondly. For who knows how long. But for the last time. And this is the more chunkier, meaty part of this. My experience, why it hit so hard, is I've been trying for so long to just get this person out of my head. Just everything, so I can move on and go about my life. Because honestly, it seemed like they were doing the same thing too, and we're young, and we're trying our damnedest to just it started off just innocent, sweet, and fun. Eventually we grew feelings for each other and just we started making things work. It was wonderful. We didn't listen to any outside shit besides ourselves, you know? Because that was all that we really needed. It was each other. It was different compared to our previous relationships because all that I had known was just bad relationships. I never had a stable or nice relationship with someone, so we both came in with some baggage and some other stuff. We moved too fast. Maybe we should have listened to our friends. We should have listened to everybody. But we loved each other. Genuinely. And we were so committed to just making it work more than anything. And stuff outside of our control kept happening, but despite that, we tried to make it work. Until it didn't. I wanted her to pretty much just be her own person. And she definitely was, but just I never wanted to take her away from what she had known, what she had did, but just for her to pretty much stand up for herself, and she felt like she had nowhere, no nothing to go, that she would leave some people behind and etc. But she would have felt like she would have left some people behind that wouldn't be able to do much for themselves. I felt like she was pretty much not seen, heard what she wanted, what she had told me. And I talk about horrible timing. And we pretty much just, we had a fight. We fought before on some things, but we always worked it out. This one didn't seem like we were able to work it out. And I was devastated that we had split. I didn't want to give up on her because this was something new. This was someone that I would have fought, that I would have done everything for, and I tried to, despite what my own shortcomings and everything was. Sure, she couldn't see it, and it was my fault not communicating everything that went on, but she was so worried about everything that I really didn't want her to be worried about me too much. I didn't want to add to that because I know what it's like to be so fucking stressed out. It fucks with your body. I know it seems that I'm very unstable, especially in the fucking job market, the job economy and stuff like that, but I genuinely do know what it's like to work for a long time somewhere. And I'm talking at least 2 years at the fucking minimum. And I get it, I'm 22. I didn't start getting into the actual workforce until 17. Now before then I helped out with my parents' stuff, but yeah. The reason I can't really work or go that hard anymore is because I had a bad injury at work that pretty much fucked my back, so yay. Like I said, I just never wanted her to worry, and despite my shortcomings, I wanted to give her the world. I wanted to just, well, not the world, just what she asked of me. She wanted to do some things for herself, and I had no problem with that, you know? I just always said, if you want help with things, or I even said, I'm going to do the small and easy stuff that you probably won't notice, but it adds up. And when we split, no, devastated is an understatement. It felt like I had genuinely lost my other half. And I tried to get into contact with her and some other stuff. No avail, or if I did, I thought that I wanted closure. I thought that I wanted so many other things, but all that I wanted was just this person back by any means necessary. But then I think about a lot of the hurt a lot of the just negative things that we had done to each other during our breakup or to each other. And despite that, despite all of just some of the awful things we did to each other, I still forgave and I loved her. And she didn't do the same with me, and I said, that's okay. Maybe later you might, maybe later you won't. It still hurt, but it just added on to just, I wanted to say, I always said I was sorry, but I know that I made her feel some awful things, and I can't forgive myself for that. The one thing that I did pretty much was just come into her life, and well, I shouldn't have done that. We always talked about kids and some of this stuff because, well, we were deeply in love. We wanted to start a family together. And I never knew. I mean, I had an inkling, but I never knew until Halloween night of last year that the reason why she was so angry, so bitter, so everything towards me was because we had a miscarriage. And she never told me. So we had a unisex name for a kid named Parker. Just, and she had originally planned to tell me that through a letter with some of my stuff that I left for her that she was going to send back to me. And I don't know. I don't know right now. What happens next was, well, we stopped talking for a bit because we got into a fight again and some other stuff. And I pretty much didn't give up with trying to talk to her after a good bit. I get that we were both confusing to each other, but we genuinely still had something there. It was just, we had more personal problems at the time that we had to deal with before we could even consider entering each other's lives and etc. again. Last time I talked to her was, well, February. We were good. We were cool for a bit, and she had a power outage, and her mom really hates me because I said some stuff about her that I don't get it. Why can everybody be truthful and say a lot of stuff towards me, but the moment I return the same energy back. And I get it. I'm very unhinged and raw at times, but if you're going to do the same thing or whatever to me, whatever energy you give me, please consider what you're giving to me, because you will definitely get it back. And that's what she got. And it was even, it was, I was talking to the mom, just do what the mom did, not even what she did. But my ex, I mean. And pretty much the mom thought that we were talking to each other again, and yeah, that was curtains. And pretty much I got blocked on everything by the mom, saying that, hey, the daughter will never get her stuff back. And I feel like I've messed over her life and some other stuff. And it makes me sit here and wonder, will I ever find somebody that I will like, love, or whatever again? Will I look back probably 50 years from now and then it's just brought back up, or something reminds me? Because it's like, I'm gonna end it off here no matter what the fuck I try or do. It's just, it's it's just, no matter what the fuck I do, no matter what the hell happens, everything just reminds me of her. And I'm not even trying to, I'm just trying to move past, do whatever I can with what I have, turn that pain, that trauma, all the fucked up things that you go through in just every facet of life into just something that's just nice and makes it easier for other people to just go through. But thank you for sticking around. I just need to go stare at the ceiling for a good bit. Thank you.